Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us today for Tiger Talk. My guest today is Mitch Grunig, our activities director. So we're going to talk a bit about fall activities update. A lot of things going on. He said that today was a day we could use two of you, and some days two wouldn't be enough. So we'll talk about some activities things in a minute, but a few updates from our buildings is what I'm going to start with. This year, we've got school year's off to a great start. I think things are going really well at all of our sites, but one of the challenges we continue to have this year is with staffing. We've got a few positions with just a limited number of applicants, and some positions we just haven't been able to fill yet. A lot of them are in our substitute spots and in our paraprofessional spots. So anyone out there who has an interest in education and wants to know a little bit more about maybe some possibilities for working with the district, we need things like custodians and admin assistants, and it's not just teachers. Of course, we need teachers and paraprofessionals and classroom aides and library aides, and we hire substitutes in all those different positions because our kids are depending on having us fully staffed, and we just need some additional help. So anyone with interest, I encourage you to call the district office, and we can talk to you about what qualifications are for different positions and what might be a fit. Right now, I guess I just want to note we have 5 open paraprofessional positions yet that we're waiting to fill. So that's one piece we just need to figure out for this fall yet. The year started off with some open houses and meet and greet days at different locations. We had that in early childhood all the way through 8th grade. So each of those buildings had a just open house day to start the year. Kids could come in, drop off school supplies, meet staff. Parents can fill out forms, ask questions, just meet the teacher, that kind of thing. So it was a good day starting there. And then that Wednesday, right after Labor Day, we started class at those buildings. High school started kids right in the very first day, but they ran an altered schedule that day and got a chance. Just kind of freshmen were there the whole day, and then seniors came just for a little bit, and everyone else kind of filtered in throughout. So they got a class meeting, got to go through the lunch schedule, and then just a shortened schedule for that day. So a nice way to kind of orient everyone back to the school year. It was a good day. Some exciting news that I want to share with the community. We had applied for a grant called a BAR grant. So BAR is Building Assets, Reducing Risks. It's a program we've used at the high school for 5 years now, and we're seeing some great success. Our kids are growing. It's a framework that kind of guides our intervention process, and looking at what needs kids have and how we can address those needs is kind of what this process does. All evidence-based interventions, all best practice strategies to happen in classrooms. Like I say, at high school, we've had it for a few years. We had a grant through the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation that's funded the high school program. This spring, we applied for a grant. This was through some legislative moves with MDE this last spring. They picked 18 schools across the state to be selected, and Marshall got 2 of them, so we're really excited about that. Southview Elementary and our middle school both received a BAR grant, so we'll be bringing that program into those 2 schools with support to the BAR program. Really looking forward to seeing where that goes and how that supports our kids academically, socially, emotionally, with attendance, kind of looking at all aspects of how can we support kids to be successful in school. So that'll be a great program that we'll be starting this fall at those sites. When I mentioned the high school, exciting news there too. We are over 930 students enrollment in the high school. I know Mitch's office at the high school, it's packed in there this year. It's an all-time high of enrollment at the high school. So that's kind of fun at the high school this year. High school also had an exciting announcement to make recently. One of our students, a senior, Jacob Zimmer, he was recently selected to perform in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, specifically with the Macy's Great American Marching Band. He'll be representing Marshall and Minnesota. It's a huge honor to be recognized for this, so really congratulations to Jacob for that, and representing Marshall at that parade in November. Encourage everyone to watch and check that out. Big event in the fall. I know the high school kids are excited about Powder Puff and everything. Homecoming week is coming up. That will be probably part of the reason you've been busy, just getting ready some of those things. Yep. October 2nd, the week of October 2nd is homecoming week. Student council is working on coronation. That's going to happen during the school day that week. That's been fun. So then all the kids get to attend that event. Homecoming dance Friday night, and all sorts of things happening in between. So that will be coming up in another week. The other exciting thing at high school level is, of course, our CTI Center we've been talking about for a few months. We're getting really close to grand opening there. That's going to open for second quarter. We're on track to have that happen. So welding, CNA, and advanced automotive classes are going to happen there. They're starting at Maytech. Those kids are anxiously awaiting to get in the new building. There are 15 students in welding, 11 in auto engine performance, 16 in auto brakes and steering, and 13 in the CNA class. So a lot of kids involved in these programs, and excited to get them out to that center and just have that room. We're making it work for right now while the center is getting completed, but that will happen really soon. One of the things we'll talk more about with Mitch soon, but activities this fall, we've had some changes with our ticketing. Families coming in for that, our online vendor change this year. Not a change we were looking for, but one of those things that happened as companies got sold and kind of rearranged. So we've changed. We're using GoFan is our vendor this fall. We still have a cash option at the gate. We're hoping maybe by second semester we can go to all the online ticketing. But people with questions about tickets or getting that figured out, you can certainly contact our activities department. They're at the high school, and they can help you figure out how to get that figured out. Or you can always ask at the gate too. And like I say, cash is still an option when you come in right now for that. Last update I have before we get to activities is we had an event recently. We have partnered with the city's Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Commission, and we hosted Welcome Week. That took place on Tuesday, September 19th, and that happened at Justice Park. We couldn't have picked a better night to have. It was a gorgeous evening. It was warm and sunny and not hot, and just a beautiful evening for that activity. We had a lot of people show up that night. We were celebrating inclusion, bringing people together for the community. They had inflatables, activities, free egg rolls that I heard were amazing. I didn't get one of the egg rolls. A chance to explore everything Marshall has to offer. So it was a really nice event and a good way to connect community members that night. So thank you to everyone that supported that program and watch for that's an annual event that we've been doing. All right, Mitch, that brings me to you. So we're going to talk a bit about activities this fall. You said it's been very busy this fall already. Let's talk about the teams and the programs. How are they going this fall?
Awesome. We've seen a lot of success across the board, whether it's some of our athletics or some of our activities. They've hit the ground running and been very successful. If you look at some of the rankings across the state, you'll see Marshall in a lot of those rankings, whether it's boys soccer or volleyball or cross country. We're having a great fall, and it's going to be an exciting conclusion once we get into early October.
Right. That's great. We can talk about facility, our programs kind of going. We had a lot of facilities things that happened this year, just getting ready for that. Talk about how those updates, maybe what happened and how that had an impact on this fall.
Yeah, starting with kind of our tennis courts, we spent some time and money over the summer to resurface them, fill some of the cracks, and just make it a better playing surface for our student athletes. And it's gone great. We've had a lot of great feedback from the community and our players. If you've been out there, you've noticed it's a fresh coat, and there aren't any some of the big cracks that we've had issues in the past. So that's been awesome just to reinvest in that program. We've also spent some money in some of our outdoor fields. So field number one, which is our main practice field for football, we tore the sand out of there and put in dirt and sod, and it's a much better playing surface. It's also going to allow us to reduce the amount of water usage that we've been putting on the surface. And if anyone's been out there, you can see that it looks great. We're hoping to play on it here shortly. We'll have a 7th and 8th grade game on it here next week, and then there will hopefully be a C Squad game here in a couple weeks. And it's just a great surface to have as kind of an option for not only practices but also some lower level games as well on campus.
Sure. Especially when you look at all the other grass around, that's bright green and everything else is brown this time of year, but that really was a good project.
Yeah, and it's something that needed to be done, and fortunately we were able to get it done this summer, and we've been practicing on it, but still trying to allow the grass to grow some deep roots and have it be a field that's sustainable and well taken care of. So it's been a blessing. We also did the middle school gym, and we've already played some junior high volleyball over there, and I was fortunate enough to be over there and watching one of the games, and it's such a great facility now as we've updated it to where it's more of a better competition space for us and not just a practice site.
Feels like a brand new gym. Everything is fresh in there. We did the floors and the walls and the logos on the walls, and yeah, it really ties in nicely with the gymnastics space over there and be a great community location to use going forward.
Yeah, and it just allows more flexibility too, as we see some of the challenges with scheduling and facilities. Having that extra space as an option for some practices and for some other events is just going to be great to utilize, and I look forward to seeing that site continue to grow and be updated.
Yeah. middle school sites. The football field at middle school got some updates too. We had some sprinklers in there, and that field's as nice as it's been in as long as I can remember. So the track got done last year, and we got the field in between done. So yeah, some nice spots for kids to play this fall, and weather has cooperated. So we've been outside and gotten a lot of use out of those spaces this fall. So thank you and your team for your work and all of that, because that's been good. You think about the high school and the tennis courts, and we had the question when we did the flooring at the high school this year too, but one of those questions is everyone still calls it the new high school, but that high school is not brand new anymore. So some of these things just, we're almost 20 years in, so some of those things it's just time for updates and fixes with some things. So
Yep.
That's good. I talked a little bit about the online ticketing changes with GoFan. Talk a little bit about how that transition's going.
Overall, it's gone really well. I would say much better than last year when we had just jumped onto hometown ticketing at that time. The transition from hometown to GoFan has been a much smoother transition for us in the activities department, and also kind of connecting with our community. It seems like that transition has been pretty easy. Platform-wise, it actually works better than hometown for not only the user, but also for us on our end, because we're able to sell tickets at sites off of our campus. So when we're playing football games at the REC, or soccer games, or if we're playing baseball, whatever it is, we're able now to connect to data and sell those tickets and check people off and check them in. Versus hometown is a lot more challenging to do that, just because we don't have the infrastructure built outside of the school. So GoFan also allows us to directly connect with some of our other platforms that we use in activities, our scheduler, our facilities, our registration. Now it's all under one hub, and allows us just to kind of go into one online registration, a dashboard to kind of monitor and update things as we go. So overall, it's been a great resource for us to push some of our community to use that online platform. It's the same price, whether it's cash or online, and it's been a great opportunity for us to allow access to our events in a different way.
Right. As more and more we connect to the world through our phones, it's another way to do that. And one of the things we can talk about when we talk about ticketing, just a reminder to our senior citizen members in the community, tickets for them are still available at no charge. How do they do that?
Yeah, so they can pick it up. A pass is what we're trying to get everyone as they come in. I want them to have a pass, something that says like, hey, you get access to events. It helps our ticket takers, it helps our staff. We know everyone in the community for the most part, but at the same time, there's always turnover. So they can pick up a pass at any of our home events. Football's a little bit crazy just because we have a large community following that comes to those events. But they can stop in early at a football game or a volleyball game or a soccer game and grab a pass at that point. And the only thing we ask is that they write down their name, email, so that we can actually send them an online pass as well. So it gives them the flexibility. If they want to go online, they can do that. Or if they want to stay with just using the pass card, that's fine as well.
Sure. And when you talk about those passes, just for sports activities or for fine arts activities as well?
So this year we'll have them for all fine arts and activities as a whole. Just kind of how last year went, I was like, you know what? We need to have one pass that's for all of our activities at Marshall Public Schools. And whether it's, our musical or a football game, we should make it a little bit easier for access, and instead of having it be a barrier. So we're like, let's just make it simple, all activities, and go from there.
Great. So one of the things you talk about, just kind of connecting with community and making things simpler, we've worked a lot on communications this fall. The district has upgraded websites and added some different things. Activities department has done a lot of things as well. First thing I want to call out is the app, the new school app that's pretty exciting, I think. It's part of our new website package. One of the things that I'll share about that, and then I'll ask you to talk about the activities side too, but families or anyone who downloads that app, you go in there's an activities schedule. You can also see that right on our website. If you go in the app, you can see the schedule. It shows you exactly where the event is. There's a share button, so I think about my kids, they're an activity, I can hit share, I can send that activity to my parents. Easy for them to find out where it is, where to come. Somebody coming from out of town, if they want to know, details about time and everything. Everything's right there. Just very slick and easy to find that. So that's been a nice improvement. Easy to share things out. You guys have done a lot of other things with activities department. Talk more about the other communications pieces you've done.
Yeah, and I'll just quickly touch base with that app. That location piece is something that was new, and we're still trying to get caught up on as well. So So that app interacts with our school platform that we use for our schedule, which we try to keep it up to date, but at the same time, it's not 100%. So just kind of keep that in mind. If you click the link and it takes you to the center of town, you might need to do a little bit more research on where exactly that event is taking place.
So it might not be to the field at this point, but gets you to the right community.
Correct. Correct. And as we go on, we'll try to get things a little bit more narrowed down and get it particular. Now, since we have that option, it's not what it was before. So for us, though, the communication side, we've kind of explored a new online website that allows us to kind of highlight all of our activities individually. For instance, like BPA has their own page on there. It's easily accessible for community, for parents, for our students, but also for our coaches to kind of manage and keep up to date themselves. So that's out there. And if you go to our activity page, there's a main button there that says Marshall Activity Site. And that directly links to all of our other platforms. So we're not having to constantly update it, with schedules and rosters and stuff like that. It just interacts with each other. So we're pretty excited about that and looking forward to kind of exploring that option because it just is going to allow our community to be a lot more connected to what we're doing and informed. Because sometimes in previous years, sometimes that information is tough to find. Yep. And we want to have that one spot where they can go, they can find it, it's logical, it makes sense. And I think that with this new website, I think it's going to be a great venture for us. Yeah,
that's great. I know one of the pieces we've talked about with that is middle school activities. We work so closely with the city, there's a lot of overlap with where things fall. So you've done a good job of laying out in the website, if you're in this activity, here's who the contact is, and this is where that one runs through, because we have a lot of community clubs that run things, we have the community ed that runs different things, and then we've got the school that runs things. So trying to streamline that and just help people understand where to go. Anytime they have a question about that, though, they can call activities department, and Amber, we'll help them figure out where to go with that. So.
Yep, absolutely.
Great. Something else we want to talk about a little bit today is activities leadership team. So something we do at all of our sites, all our big departments in the school, we have a leadership team where it's not just you and I sitting making decisions about everything with activities. We talk to coaches and parents and that sort of thing. So specifically the leadership team for activities, talk about what you guys are doing with that group this year.
So just to kind of give a little bit of a highlight, I guess, of that group. So it brings in a lot of different leaders in our activities department, not just athletics, but also activities as a whole. And our goal with that group kind of depends on the year and what our mission is. This year, a lot of it is just looking at our communication piece and what it looks like from their end, and how can they help support us in our mission with that communication aspect. They tackle a lot of other challenges that we kind of go through. They also are tasked with some other duties like picking AAA winners and Excel Award winners and recognizing some of the great things our students do. And it's a great group that is willing to put in the extra time and energy, and they've really helped lead this school through some of the transitions that we've had. They've been pretty stable throughout that time, and I've really leaned on them for their leadership and support during those times.
That's great. You're also starting a new student leadership team this year. Talk a little bit about that and what that group's going to do.
Yeah, so it's kind of a little bit of a reaction, I think, to some of the challenges that we've seen across the state, and with just some of the behavior issues we've had at like events and stuff like that have made the news. And also, the year I've spent in Marshall, I'm like, we can always do better. I think our students deserve, the best experience we can possibly give them. I was listening to an AD podcast here the other day, and he talked about like the Disney point of view and how that has kind of helped him build a better culture in his events. And I was like, you know what? I need to really ask our students what they're looking for if we're really wanting to build that event that is really student-focused and student-centered, and allow us to really continue to grow, Tiger Pride and what it means to be involved in activities and in athletics, and give students the experiences that they're looking for as well, and not just what I think or what coaches think that is best for them.
Absolutely. And we know that the more involved students are in activities, the more successful they are in school and the better experience they have overall. So that's a big part of why we want to encourage that. So that's great work. I look forward to seeing how that goes this year.
Same.
Another change this year was we have a new agreement with Borch's Sporting Goods here in town. There's some changes with agreements with them. Talk a little bit about that and how that's going to affect the school this year.
Yeah, so we started with Borch's this year with a new contract and also with Under Armour. So previously we were with Nike and a national brand, BSN. So we transitioned away from that and focused on more local. It's been a great change for us, and the idea is kind of protecting our brand a little bit and what Marshall Tigers are and our logos and stuff like that, and also coming together as an activities department and having one direction, one lane, and having the support and benefits that brings versus us all kind of going different directions and then not doing really what's best for us as a group. I felt like going this way is just a good opportunity for us to kind of restart and go together in one mission and look at some of the benefits. This is the first year I'm able to purchase clothing for our coaches and give them an opportunity to wear our logos and not have them spend the money because of some of those benefits we will get through Under Armour and Borch's. And then also it allows us to save money on uniforms and apparel and stuff like that. So it's a little bit budget friendly as well when we're strained because we've seen increases across the board in everything from basketball nets to uniforms to whatever it is. This allows us to stay where we need to be, and then take advantage of some of the benefits with it.
Sure, and it's nice. It's a local partner too. I know that's really important to have that local connection be part of it too. They're investing in our community and with our kids, so that's going to be great.
Yep, absolutely.
Last thing that we have to talk about is big weekend coming up, Pursuit of Excellence. It's an event with our marching band, annual event. I know it's weather's not looking real promising for this weekend, so talk a little bit about that and if people are interested in getting involved, what they can do.
Yeah, so you just roll with the punches and
it doesn't rain all summer, and then the day we have this planned.
Yeah, exactly. You bring 32 schools in, and you're changing plans last minute and booking facilities. So looks like we're going to probably end up inside, at the RA facility on Southwest campus, and hosting it there. It'll be a great event. It might be a little bit tight, but it still is going to give students the opportunity to show what they can do, and we still get to put on a wonderful event. And if people are looking for opportunities to help, there's still an opportunity to do that. Just go onto our Facebook page or Twitter page or Instagram page. I think we've put it all out there to sign up and help out, whether it's helping with parking or maybe hosting a team. And maybe it's not this year, but next year.
Sure.
This is an event we look forward to doing every single year, and it takes a whole community to make it work. And maybe you just dip your toe in this year, and then next year maybe it's you're helping boosters put together food or something like that, because it's a rewarding experience for anyone that's been able to step up, and kids are very thankful, and really showcases what Marshall's all about.
Certainly an event that not just Marshall kids, but regional kids look forward to coming and being part of that event each year too. So
Absolutely.
Right. Even if the weather doesn't cooperate, we'll have coaches here, and we'll have the sessions in the morning, and then we'll have the performance in the afternoon. So that's great. Anything I haven't asked you about, Mitch, that you want to share with the community today?
No, it's been a great fall, and if you haven't had a chance, please come out and support the Tigers. It's going to be an exciting October and November. Hopefully, we'll hang some banners, but that's not the most important thing, because it's building opportunities for our kids to compete at the highest stage, and we love to see packed stands. So Come out and support your Tigers.
Absolutely. Lots of events to come check out, so encourage community to be there. That's what we have today for Tiger Talk, so we appreciate you joining us, and we'll be back next month.